Hi. In this Trikonasana based practice today, we're going to look at opening up and deepening triangle pose, Trikonasana, and this will help us to get to know and deepen and work with hand to big toe pose, which is quite a challenging standing balance. The reason that we're going to work with them both is they're actually a very similar shape. So if I just demonstrate for a moment, and then we'll do this practice together in a minute. So in Trikonasana, it's not exactly the same, but you'll see there's a similarity. So in Trikonasana, this shape, so if I keep it fairly simple, what we're trying to do is open up the side body. So there's an opening up in the chest. When we try and go deeper into Trikonasana, often the feeling can be to just put the hand onto the ground, and that will take us deeper. What we're actually trying to do is open up the chest and go deeper by opening the chest as we go lower. So if we just put the hand down to go deeper and there's no opening in the hip yet, then what happens is the hip will pull forward. As the hand comes down, there's a sort of a rounding in the back. And then in an attempt to open, we just end up sort of jamming the arm back. So it all feels a bit wrong and a bit uncomfortable, and it's hard to breathe. So if this happens here, what we want to do is not put the hand on the ground straight away, but really open up, keep the hand up on the leg and work on opening up the chest and then drawing the arm vertically. So the deepening in Trikonasana actually comes from the heart, the chest, the lungs, and the whole lower body is really strong. So the reason that's really important to do for Trikonasana for other positions is, say for a position like hand to big toe, if you just look, it's not exactly the same, but it's kind of has a look of Trikonasana on its side. So has a similar kind of look. And if we're resisting the opening in the side body and the chest in triangle, what will happen is, as we come to this position, it'll pop up again here. So you'll feel that this happens, this sort of rounding, because it's the same resistance you're meeting. So if you can open up in Trikonasana, what you'll find that as you work with that you'll start to come into this pose, and then the opening and the strength will be there to really open up and advance there too. So this can often happen is if we, positions that we meet regularly in our practice, in vinyasas and the more regular positions, that if you can really look at how to open and how to strengthen in those positions and not just make do with what's happening all the time, is to actually look at deepening those poses, you'll find that your whole practice will deepen. It's not just about deepening Trikonasana. What we're actually doing is deepening that to allow opening throughout the body and throughout loads of other positions. So by working in one place, so often with yoga we work in one place and everything else benefits, and this is a real example of that. So ready? It's strong at times, but really lovely and really liberating for the breathing, for the chest and the heart. So you'll need a strap if you want to get that ready. If you don't have a yoga strap, you can use a tie or a belt or something, a scarf will do. Okay, come and lie down. And just take a few minutes here to settle. We're going to start with a little bit of twisting and some opening in the legs and the hips just to get us warmed up for these positions. So bring your hands onto your belly, have the feet on the ground, knees bent, and we'll just do a few gentle tilts and tucks in the pelvis to feel the hips. So on the exhalation, feel the back flatten, the chin come in a bit, the belly draw in. And then inhaling, tilt the pelvis, feel the chest open, feel the back arching, and then exhaling, draw the belly in. And just start to create a little gentle flow of movement in the hips. So this opening and releasing. And another breath there. Settling into your body, making space for yourself and really making space for the resistance and for the edges and those kind of challenges that we face physically on our mat that will often replicate and be challenges off our mat in a more energetic, emotional or mental way. So as we work with resistance and work with challenge here, you'll find things start to open up in other ways too. So it's not just about a pose, it never is. Okay, so let's start to come into a really nice twist here. So if you grab your strap and just get a little loop in it, you don't want much, just a sort of small loop, and put your feet are going to go through the loop. First of all though, let's just move the hips over to the right, so your bum goes right across the mat to the right, and then put both feet in the loop, hold your feet with your left hand, and then lower the legs. They'll kind of fall as they lower down to the left. And then just lie on your side, so settle yourself on your side, and then see if you can keep the knees bent at first and reach the right arm up, and then extend the right arm right over to the right, so you start to feel this big stretch in the chest. And then once you're there, see if you can start to extend the legs. Now we're just warming up, so it's going to be tight at first, so just do what you can there. Find your breath, feel the breath in the belly. Reaching out through the right arm. And then on the inhale, you're going to lift the right arm up. And then on the exhale, reach your right arm all the way over to the feet, to the strap, and catch the strap with that hand as well. Lift the head and tuck the chin into the chest, and just rounding there. And then inhale, lift your head and arm and reach it up and across your body all the way to the ground, and extend. And see if you can keep your legs stretching as well. And then just do that a couple more times. So inhaling up, exhaling down, rounding, stretching, inhaling, and exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, one more, reaching up. And exhaling, opening up. Now keep the top foot in the strap and release the bottom foot, and then stretch the bottom leg right down your mat so it's going as far away as you can, and you'll feel lots of tightness in the hips and the hamstrings. So don't push too hard, just work into a little bit of the edge there and reach through the right arm. See if you can turn your head to face the ceiling, and then try and straighten all the limbs as much as you can, so you're extending all 4 limbs out through your head, turning the chest, a little bit more opening. Just another couple of breaths there. See if you can extend a little bit more, feeling into that resistance. And then slowly bend the knee, draw your right leg in, release the foot out of the strap, stretch the right leg down along the ground, and then reach your arms overhead, reach your legs, extend, stretching everything, and then hug the belly into the ground there. Squeeze the back down. Do a breath again like that. So chest up, belly up, exhale, back down. And we'll do those twists on the other side. So bring the knees in, bring your bum out to the left side of the mat, so you've room. Pick the feet up and put the strap around the feet, so a little loop. And then lower your legs over to the right, so you go right over. And then from here, just sort of settle yourself onto your side. And then you can leave the knees bent a little bit to the beginning. Take the left arm, extend the left arm as much as you can, so a big stretch in the chest. Find your breath there. See if you can sort of extend the legs a bit now, so the legs and the arms are getting straighter. And then moving on the breath, so inhale, lifting the hand up. And exhaling, going over, rounding the back. Inhaling, lifting. And exhaling, reaching out behind you. Inhaling up. And exhaling all the way over. Inhale. And back. Okay, one more breath there. Okay, so we'll just deepen this a little bit more. Take the bottom foot, make sure it's the bottom foot out of the strap. Keep hold of the strap and then explore straightening your limbs. So it's really challenging. You'll feel there's lots of resistance, and this is the kind of resistance we're going to be meeting in this class a bit more. So just explore it. Don't fight with it, but just kind of squeeze into it a little bit. Feeling this edge is the beginning. It's not the end of the pose. This is the beginning of you meeting yourself, meeting new possibilities, new ideas, changing habits. Another stretch here, another breath. And it's tight. Doing this at the beginning of the class is really challenging. You really meet yourself, so don't force it. Release your arm, draw your body back in, curling in, and just come onto your back. Stretch the arms and the legs, and we use the strap one more time here. So just take a moment, stretch out, deep breath. Okay, and then we're going to try hand to big toe here, but with the strap. So again, get your strap and see if you can make it quite small again. So just a little extension, little loop. Now bring your left foot into the strap. Hold the loop, make sure it's not slipping, or tie it, and then keep the right foot on the ground and start to extend the left foot out to the side and just see what happens. Now, if when you extend and straighten your leg, if you find that the strap has to be really kind of far away, so the only way to straighten your leg is to have a long loop, then you'll know in Trikonasana you can't put the hand on the ground. You need to have your hand roughly in height, at the height of where your hand is now. So just look at where your fingers are on your leg as the leg straightens out to the side. And that's roughly where your hand needs to be to keep your chest open, your back open in Trikonasana. So if you're able to straighten the leg and have the hand really close to the foot, you're going to be able, it's going to be more likely for you to be able to put your hand on the ground, and it's not something you can rush. So you might find you don't need the strap. You can hold your big toe or hold the edge of your foot and then bring the leg out to the side, trying to keep on your back. And that then means that you, with your back still flat on the ground, that only when you can do that will you be ready to actually put your hand on the ground in Trikonasana. So it's just to sort of measure where you're at, and there's no rush, and we don't have to put the hand on the ground. That's the whole thing. It's just not, there's no point rushing to get there, because if you can only hold the foot and keep the knee bent, or if you can hold the foot, straighten the leg, but you can only do that with the chest up, all of that resistance is going to show up in Trikonasana. So just try the other side, just extend that leg. Might be different with both sides, and notice what position is your hand in comparison to the shin. So where would your hand be on your shin with your legs straight? And you know, often as we're beginning this, your strap has to be quite long and your hand is actually closer to your knee than your foot, with the leg straight and sticking out to the side. And then you just keep working on it until you find you can bring your hand to your foot, straighten the leg and bring the leg out to the side. And you might meet resistance there, but if it's possible to open and keep your back on the ground, then you'll be ready to put the hand on the ground in triangle. Okay, so having just sort of worked out where you are there, just again have another stretch and we'll start to warm up a bit more here. Okay, so coming over and onto all fours, and let's take a moment here to just move a little bit on the breath, so connecting with your breath a bit more now. See if you can let go of this sense of needing to get somewhere. There's always this feeling of like, well, I'm not there yet, so I've got to get there. What I'm working with you on more here is, where are you right now? And how can you be more accepting and comfortable with yourself right now? So accepting your resistance and working with it, not either fighting with yourself and feeling that you're not good enough, but also not pushing and avoiding the resistance and pretending it's not there. So we want to work in a
gentle, supportive and confident way, knowing that we're
kind of good enough already. Nothing needs to be achieved. We're just exploring different shapes.
Take another breath. And then coming up into downward facing dog. And walk out the legs. Let's take a few little vinyasas here to warm up more. So when you felt your legs stretch, actually take an outer leg stretch. So turn the right foot out to the side, bend the left knee, turn to the right and feel the outer right hip stretching there. And then turning to the left. So bend the right knee, turn to the left and feel the outer left hip stretching there. Deep breath. And then from there coming forward into plank. Little bounces in plank to warm things up a bit. Inhale, come back to child's pose, exhale. Coming up, inhale, and then lower to the ground, roll the hips, exhale. Coming up through cobra, inhale. And downward facing dog, exhale. Raise the right leg, deep breath in, inhale. Step the right foot forward, exhale, lower back, knee down. Raise the arms, big wide stretch out to the side, reaching up. And then bring the hands down again, same way, wide, but bend the elbows and squeeze the shoulder blades down the back, exhale. Inhale, lift the back knee, stretch, exhale, back to downward dog. Forward into plank, inhale. Back to child's pose or puppy dog, toes tucked, exhale. Coming forward, inhale. This time, scoop the chest down, working the shoulders a bit more, hips down. Inhale, cobra. Downward dog, exhale. Left leg lifting, inhale, reaching up. Step the left foot through, exhale, right knee down. Raise the arms, bring them out to the side, big chest opener, inhale. Bring the elbows out as well, squeezing them down. Exhale, hands onto the ground. Lift the back knee, inhale. Step back, exhale. Inhale forward to plank. Exhale all the way to the ground. Cobra, inhale. Downward dog, exhale. Right leg lifting again, inhale. This time circle the knee, big circles getting into the hip, trying to get lots of energy flowing, moving, feeling the tight spots. Deep breath in, stretch the leg, and then step the foot through. Exhale, back knee down again, back to the lunge. Raise the arms forward this time. As they come up, take the left wrist, so the right knee is in front. You're holding the left wrist. Lean to the right side, so you're getting this side stretch. And we'll just explore a little bit here, the feeling of a side stretch. So as you come forward into your lunge, lean to the right and see if you can feel the front of the body and the side of the body stretching. And then kind of lean forward a bit and see how you feel it kind of go into the side and then the back of the body. So in Trikonasana, what we want to feel is the side stretch. So we want to feel that the front of the body and the side of the body is opening, rather than it being a forward bend. And that's still a nice feeling, it's a nice stretch, but what we're looking for more is this feeling. See if you can just explore that there. Another breath. And then back to a half split. So same position, just pulling the hips back. And as you squeeze back, lift the toes, bend the knee a little bit so it's not overworking the back, and stick the bum out. Bring both hands to the right. And then take the left hand onto the outside edge of the right foot. Push your foot into your hand, pull the foot with the hand, and then bend the elbows and fold into this outer hip. Back of the leg stretch there. Deep breath. And then coming forward, inhale through the lunge. Downward facing dog, exhale. Forward into plank, inhale. Chaturanga or all the way to the ground, cobra or up dog, downward facing dog. Left leg lifting. And again, a few circles here, really trying to get things moving, flowing, undoing a bit, meeting the resistance. And then stretch your leg really far away and step the foot forward, back knee down. Coming up again, forward with the arms, inhale, and as you come up, grab the right wrist and then stretch to the left a bit.
Left knee is in front, lean to the left, and then play with going forward and to the side, and then opening the front and the side body. So it tends to be a bit more challenging for all of us to open the heart and the side waist. So often what we can end up doing is kind of opening the back of the body. So what we want in Trikonasana is the side body, the side waist opening. That's it. Okay, downward facing dog. Exhale, feeling that there, walking the legs, starting to feel the heat and energy. Plank pose, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Cobra or up dog. And exhale, down dog. Okay, a few breaths there. Just walking out the legs. And then raise the right leg, inhale. And stepping the right foot forward, exhale. Back heel down, we're coming up to warrior two, raise the arms. Left arm all the way overhead. So from here, just take reverse warrior two, leaning back, exhale. And then we're going to start to work with triangle here. Let's turn around so you can see. So from reverse warrior two, start to straighten the front leg and then explore bringing the hand down, and remember the position where you felt the hand on the shin. Keep the front knee a little bit bent so it's not collapsing. Bring the hand down towards the shin, towards the ankle, towards the foot, and feel what's happening in the side of the body here. So experiment, just slide the hand down a few times. You can keep the other arm on the side of the body and notice, where do you start to fall forward? Is there a point at which you're starting to collapse forward? And that's just where you're meeting the tightness in the hip. And that's at the point that you keep your hand on your leg. So if you can still feel your arm on your side body and you're able to still open up the chest and your hand is on your ankle, then you can let it drop off the ankle just below the line of the knee and fingertips can come to the ground there. Then see if you can open up your chest. So really being honest with yourself here. Notice, is there a rounding? Can you feel the back stretching? If so, bring your hand back up and open the side body. Then, wherever the hand is comfortably, raise your arm, open up the chest a little bit more. And what we were avoiding is jamming the arm back, so the arm is lifting. And then keep turning your belly to the sky. Keep rotating the belly, keep pushing down in the feet. Keep the front knee slightly bent. And then turn the head, look down at the ground, look at the foot. And then once again, with the head looking down, can you turn your belly? Can you look down at the foot and turn your chest? And then reach the arm to vertical, and now look up at the hand. Feel the chest opening, one more breath. And then lower your hand down. That's it, and then lower the back knee down. Raising the arms up, inhale. And then exhaling, downward facing dog. Well done, and you'll feel that. So you should really feel that you've moved lots of energy, you can feel your system, and you should feel the left side of the body feels quite different to the right side there. So just noticing that. Take a vinyasa or have a rest if you want to, plank pose, chaturanga or half chaturanga, up dog is nice, or cobra, and down dog. So we'll come to warrior two on the other side. So stepping the left foot forward, just turn around again. And then as you come up, windmill the right arm overhead. And from here, reverse your warrior two. So leaning back, inhaling, bend the front knee, exhale there. And then straightening the front leg, and we're going to windmill into triangle. So as you do this, leave your back arm on your back leg, and then bring your front hand down and see where it lands. Keep the knee very slightly bent and see where it lands so that you're not collapsing your chest forward. And for most of the time, It's about here. It's not actually able to go, we're not able to go much lower unless you're practicing this a lot, and then you'll start to feel you can keep going a bit lower. So see how that's going, and just keep opening the chest, opening that hip up, draw that right hip back. If you can keep the right hip back and you're feeling your chest is still open, then try slipping the hand off the shin into the ground, and then be honest. If it feels like you've collapsed forward, if there's a pull forward, come back up onto the leg, because then your whole position will change. Energy will change. So find where you feel is a realistic place for you. Raise the right arm, open up the chest a bit more. And then to stop jamming the arm back, look down and let the head relax. And then with the head looking down, can you turn your belly open? Turn your belly open and then look up to the top arm. Deep breath, push into the feet, strong legs. Take another breath. Then reach your arm all the way overhead and lower your hand down. Downward facing dog. Well done, stretching out there. Vinyasa time or resting. Find your breath. And then raising the right leg again, inhaling. Stepping the right foot forward, exhale. Bring the back heel down, inhaling, windmilling the arms up. Reverse warrior two again. We're going to come to it slightly differently here. So we're going to come to a really extended triangle to stretch the neck as well. So start to straighten the front leg. Oh no, actually we'll come to supported side angle. So keep the front knee bent. Bring your right elbow on the front knee. Send the knee over the toes. As you bend the knee, sink that right hip. Bring the left arm up. And then from here, keep the left arm reaching overhead as you start to straighten that front leg. And as you straighten the front leg, let your head drop down. So the leg straightens, the head starts to drop down, and then let your arm rest on the leg, and then turn the chest open. So it's like your head is literally hanging down. Then maybe the fingers can start to go towards the ground, but keep the chest open. Take the arm over your head, big side stretch, opening up. Let the head drop a little bit more. So you're almost upside down now. Keep going. And notice which point you start to go into a forward bend. So can you keep going down, keep going down, keep going, and then feel it and let that forward bend happen. When it happens, let your arm drop. Let your back knee come down. Reach both arms up overhead into your lunge. Deep breath. Beautiful. Downward facing dog. Stepping back. Plank pose. Inhale. Chaturanga. Exhale. Cobra. Inhale. Down dog. Exhale. Left leg lifting. Inhale. Stepping the left foot forward. Exhale. Bring the back heel down and then windmilling up. Inhaling. Let's get my microphone sorted. Exhaling. Warrior two. Reverse warrior two. Inhale. Coming to supported side angle. Bring your elbow on your thigh. Push the knee forward over the toes. Reach the right arm up. Sink the left hip. Turn the heart open. And then start to straighten the front leg. As you straighten the leg, let your head start to drop down. So your leg straightens. It feels like you're sort of falling. But as you fall, let the chest stay open. Keep the arm reaching overhead. Let the bottom hand come to the leg or the ground. Keep the arm reaching, reaching, reaching. Keep going. Keep the chest going and let the head go. So your heart is opening. See if you can feel it's a side stretch, not a forward bend. Opening up, and then at some point your chest starts to collapse down and it goes into a forward bend, letting that happen. When it does, then lower your back knee down, raise the arms, inhale, deep breath, and exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale into plank, exhale through your flow. You can always rest, downward dog. Okay, take a moment resting in child or on your tummy. See how you're feeling, noticing your breath.
So we're going to play with hand to big toe, coming up and stepping the feet up to the middle of the mat, rolling up to standing. Inhale, raise the arms overhead. Exhale, hands back to the heart. So let's just play with this and try and have some sort of fun with it, not over worrying about where you're up to now, knowing that if there is resistance and if it's really hard to do, that you have tools that you can use your Trikonasana as a way of opening to develop this. So there's always routes to working with this. So grab the right knee and pull the right knee up into your chest. And then what I want you to try and do is, like I'm doing, balance. Keep your eyes steady. So really settle yourself, steady yourself to start balancing. Maybe bring your hand to your belly or your chest. And then bring your other hand down to the foot and see if you can grab your big toe with your first two fingers and thumb. Now already this is probably happening, rounding the back. So see if you can straighten your spine and really stand on that supporting leg, really stand your straight back. And then from here start to extend the leg. And remember that if it was hard to get your hand to your foot when you were lying down, it's going to be tricky now, so you just don't straighten the leg. So what we're trying to do is keep the back straight. So hand to big toe can be hand to big toe with knee bent. It doesn't have to be a fully straight leg. So however the leg needs to be, but keep your back straight. So we're avoiding this, because that is just a collapsed Trikonasana as well. So start to open up and see if you can extend and work on opening out the leg, but give it time. Just play with that a few times. Keep pushing down into that standing leg. Keep your gaze very steady. Keep opening up and see if you can extend and play with that opening. Leaning back slightly, opening up the heart. And then releasing down. Raise the arms, deep breath in. Diving down, exhale, Uttanasana. Feeling the stretch in the hips. Half Uttanasana, inhale. Stepping into downward facing dog, exhale. Plank pose, inhale. Child's pose or chaturanga, exhale. Cobra or up dog, inhale. And downward facing dog. Exhale again, hop to the middle of your mat, roll up to standing, inhale, bring the left knee up, give it a hug, wobbling, steadying your gaze, finding your balance. See if you can rest your other hand on your hip or your belly or your chest, grab the foot, see if you can grab the big toe, and then as you feel yourself rounding and hunching in, really straighten up. And this will also then help you with your Trikonasana, straightening up here. Open up the chest and then explore extending the leg. And this is perfect, keeping the knee a bit bent or extending, but we're looking for a back that is really straight. Leaning back and keep falling in and out of it. And that's great, because if you kind of fall out of it, it means that you've just probably extended a little bit more than you did the last time. So opening up, space in the heart. Whoa. Reaching up, letting it go, folding down, Uttanasana. Half Uttanasana, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Plank pose, inhale. Child's pose for everyone, come back. Exhale, just take a few breaths. Inhaling, coming up. Step the feet up to the hands and squat down. Lowering your bum, rolling onto your back, and just roll on your spine a few times, so almost through plow. And you can draw the knees in and just roll, massage out the back. And one more rolling there. Okay, as you come down, rest your hips and your head. Grab the ankles in Baddha Konasana, and we'll just stretch the inner thighs and then the outer hips here. So squeeze in Baddha Konasana just for a breath, then draw the knees in. And we'll stretch the outer hips just to balance those big openings for the inner thighs there. So if you cross your right leg over your left leg,
So your thighs are crossed. Lift your head up and grab your ankles and pull the ankles apart from each other. You might be able to hold the edges of the feet, but we want to lower the head and chest and shoulders down here. So see what feels manageable here. If your head and chest is lifted, or if you can only get the top of the head onto the ground, then hold the shins, don't hold the feet. Shoulders are down. Find your breath. And really feeling this stretch in the outer hips, trying to keep the feet at the sort of similar height. And slow your breath down. Just a few more deep breaths here. Feel the inner thighs squeezing in, the outer legs and outer hips stretching out. One more breath. And release the legs. Stretch the legs into the air, hold the back of the thighs and push the legs a few times into the fingertips. Bend the knees, squeeze them in and come to the other side. So cross the other leg on top. For me it's the left leg. I don't know if I told you a side there, so just come to the other side. And then start to separate the feet, holding the shins, and see if you can pull them apart. And you'll feel one foot goes up, one foot goes down, and it's kind of quite hard to work out which goes up and down. See if you can balance them so that they're about the same height as each other. Pull them apart, squeeze the inner thighs together. Lift your head and shoulders and see if you can catch the outside edges of the feet with the hands, and then lower the head so the back of the neck is still open. And see, and if that's not possible, if your head is not touching or the chin is up in the air, then hold the shins, hold the ankles, don't hold the feet. Okay, a few breaths here. Releasing, slowing the breath. One more breath here. And then let your feet go. Reach the legs up, stretch them, point the toes, circle the ankles. And then draw the knees in and straighten the legs. Reach the arms. And we'll take a few minutes here in Shavasana. So letting all of those feelings really rush through your system and settle through your system. So we're in these patterns, in these shapes, we're changing our habits in our nervous system. So this is so important, this rest now, to let that reprogramming happen. So feel yourself settling back into stillness, relaxing the chest, the back, the hips. Do a simple little body scan as you lie here, noticing your big toes on both feet. Feeling the feet. The ankles. Noticing the legs, the lower legs, and feel your knees up into the thighs and the pelvis. Feel the back, the mid-back, just sort of lower back arching, mid-back on the ground. Feel the belly, the sides of the waist. Relax the sides of the hips, sides of the waist, and feel the upper back and chest really sinking down. Armpits soft, shoulders relaxing, shoulder blades down. All the way down the arms, there's a softening and opening into your hands and your fingers. Then feel up around the throat and the neck, up into the jaw, the ears, the face, the features soft, and the head heavy, relaxing down to the whole body. Just a few more breaths of weight, of heaviness, of letting go. And then have a little wriggle of your fingers and toes, a stretch there. And when you're ready, you can come on back up to sitting. So rolling up. Find your seat. If you've come up and you actually would just prefer to lie back down again and rest for longer, then absolutely, if you've got the time, do that. If you need to carry on with your day, then just settle in. Take these moments to feel yourself upright, coming back into awakeness. And feeling how this practice can really help us to explore our position, our attitudes, and how the way we are in one situation is very often the way we are in most situations, and that when we can explore our habits and find more awareness, more stability, more openness in one situation, it will translate into the rest of your life. So it's not as hard as it seems. Just keep practicing. Namaste.